Reolink sent me this Trackmix Wi-Fi camera to review. It's a waterproof pan and tilt camera, dual lenses and dual tracking with two 8 megapixel cameras that are capable of recording 4K video at 25 frames per second. One with a wide angle lens and one with a telephoto lens. It has a built-in microphone and speaker for two-way audio, dual mode night vision with IR LEDs and spotlights, and it also has smart detection, person, vehicle and pet. Now the pet detection is absolutely brilliant for pet owners or people with a lot of wildlife in the garden, and it can also be configured to send a notification and email with footage from both cameras when it detects something. Now this is a brilliant security feature. You can see immediately whether there's something going on at home and decide whether you need to take action. So let's get into the review. A quick look at the box. Inside the box we've got the camera, a UK power supply, an extension cable for the power supply which is very handy, a set of fixtures and fittings, an Ethernet cable, a waterproof connection for the camera and Ethernet cable, some paperwork which includes a set of instructions and a mounting template. Looking at the front of the camera, we've got two Wi-Fi aerials, two infrared lights, two spotlights, and then we've got two cameras, one there and one there. In the centre of those, that little thing there is a daylight sensing module, and this is a microphone. This is where the Ethernet cable is connected, and the waterproof connection is used on the cable, so you get a waterproof joint with this, and then this is where the 12-volt power supply connects. Looking underneath the camera, you can see there's a little cover there. It says micro SD, so the micro SD card goes in here, just slots in there, push it down, and then use your nail to click it into place, and you can actually feel it clicking. Just here is a reset button, and this pin is provided in the fixtures and fittings bag so that you can reset the camera if you need to. On the back of the camera we've got a built-in speaker because it's capable of two-way communication. So as you can see, the camera is tracking me now. Now I've mounted the camera here because it's quite a good spot for it. There's an entrance through the driveway there, so that is covering the entrance. If anybody comes in the driveway, this camera will pick them up. And also over there, the driveway continues past the house, so if people were coming in from that direction, I could point the camera that way and it would cover that side as well. But for me, this is quite a good spot. Now you must make sure that it's within Wi-Fi coverage. The camera's got dual Wi-Fi capabilities, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, which is very good, but you need a decent signal in order for the camera to work, and you also need to have an SD card fitted inside the camera to record the video that it's actually taking. So as well as the SD card, I've connected this to my MVR, which is recording the wide-angled footage constantly. So if you've got an MVR, that's quite a good feature as well. And there are 3 different tracking modes, and I'll cover them in a second. To change the tracking preferences on this camera, you need version 8.8.0 of the client software, otherwise you won't be able to change them. So to find out what version you've got, click on the settings icon on the top right hand corner of the client software, and then click on About Reolink, and you'll be able to see what client version you're running. So open up the client software, select the Trackmix camera. Now notice that you can switch between the two cameras by clicking the left hand side there. If I click the one above it, you can see we go to the wide angled view. Then click on the settings icon and then go to alarm settings. Now if you see the tracking method there, you can see we've got digital tracking first and pan and tilt tracking first. Those are the 3 selections. So this is an example of digital tracking where there's no pan and tilt. This is the wide view, and you can see that this camera is not going to move, and this is on pet detection as well, which is why I love pet detection. It's really very good. You can see there's a deer there with its baby, and notice that this lens is not moving at all. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this, and this is the telephoto lens, which is recording at exactly the same time. Now you'll see that it is digitally zoomed into that deer. There isn't any optical zoom on this, it's just digital, so you're losing a bit of the video quality so you can get a closer up look at the animals. And remember that the other lens never moved, so the camera is not moving, it's not panning or tilting at all. So when this is panning and tilting, it's doing that digitally as well, and you lose a little bit of quality. So this is digital tracking first. So the telephoto lens should start zooming in and tracking me, and then eventually the wide angle lens will start swinging round to follow me as I pass the camera. Go on, Pick. Okay. So this is digital tracking first. So the telephoto lens should start zooming in and tracking me, and then eventually the wide angle lens will start swinging round to follow me as I pass the camera. Go on, Pick. Okay. And then this is pan and tilt first. Now I've seen the camera swing round as soon as I came round the corner. So it's panned round, it'll tilt to whatever angle it needs to, and then eventually the digital camera will start doing its thing, digitally tracking me. So there's a difference in the two. And then this is pan and tilt first. Now I've seen the camera swing round as soon as I came round the corner. So it's panned round, it'll tilt to whatever angle it needs to, and then eventually the digital camera will start doing its thing, digitally tracking me. So there's a difference in the two. This is one of the email clips that was sent. It's the Telephoto one, and each file is about 3 megabytes. So there's two 3 megabyte video files, just to give you an idea what it looks like.
It'll tilt to whatever angle it needs to, and then eventually the digital camera will start doing its thing, digitally tracking me. So there's a difference in the two.
So I'm going to show you some more footage now. This is night vision, and we're on the IR lights now. As the car gets closer, you'll see we switch over to spotlights, and it's going to be very difficult for anybody to read the reg plate on that car, unfortunately. I've actually made some reg plates that say Reolink on them. So that's night vision with the wide angle, and this is the telephoto footage. Now I personally think that when I finish this review, I'm just going to keep the IR lights on permanently and not use the spotlight, because I'm in too dark an area for it to be of much use to me. But that will give you an idea what it's like for vehicle identification at night. And this is now night vision again, but it's person detection, and this is a bit better than the vehicle, because obviously I don't have any lights on me. I think the lights interfere with the camera. As you can see, it's actually switched over onto spotlights, and that is a little bit better with me walking by. It's better than the vehicle anyway. That's not too bad for actually people walking by on a night time. I'm quite impressed with that. And this is the telephoto version. Now let's see what it's like when it pans round. Again, I think you'd have difficulties making a good recognition with that footage. It's not bad though. And this is Mark, our postman, and I think this footage is really very good. I did ask him if I could put this on my YouTube channel, and he said it was okay, but that is much better footage, I think. And this is our cat Flora. She's playing with an insect of some sort. Now she was detected as a pet, and I've got to say that the detection system on this camera is excellent. It doesn't appear to make any mistakes. It's very, very good. And these last two clips are just an event where we had pet detection again, and this is just a fox, and I've just put this in because it's quite interesting to look at the difference between the two cameras. But one thing I will say, the pet detection is experimental, and we do actually get moths and bats setting off the pet detection, which can be a bit of a pain when you're in the countryside and there are a lot of flying insects around, but I still think it's a brilliant feature. You can see the cameras side by side using the PC client software, but you'll notice it's badly distorted vertically. So if you select a 4 camera configuration, you can see the two cameras side by side in the correct aspect ratio. So now we're going to look at the two-way audio and see what that's like.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you quite clearly.
Yes, you're very loud as well, so it would be quite possible to have a decent conversation with somebody.
Oh, yes.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much for that. So there we go. Two-way audio, no problem at all. As well as a two-way audio, this thing has also got an Audible Alarm that can be activated automatically when it detects something, and you can also activate it manually. So what I'm going to do now is let you listen to that. So that is the Audible Alarm, and I think that's pretty effective. If you were walking around this property on a night time, up to no good, that certainly would scare you, and it would certainly make you want to run away because you'd know that everybody else would be waking up. It's not really loud, but it is definitely loud enough to catch people's attention, and I do think it will do what it's supposed to do, and that's scare somebody away. I've had this camera for about 2 weeks now, and I am very impressed with it. I absolutely love this camera. Now, my wife and I have spent loads of time watching Flora the cat wandering up and down the driveway on a night time, and we've seen wildlife. Also, it lets us know anytime somebody comes to the door. It is very accurate in what it detects. So person detection is very accurate, vehicle detection is very accurate, pet detection, as you've seen, you get wildlife and pets. You also get moths and bats setting it off. So there's maybe a little bit of work to be done on that, but the way it is, it's still fantastic. I absolutely love the fact that we can see creatures mooching around our driveway. We get an alert on the email, and I can see whether I want to actually download the video or do anything with it or not. The same goes for person and vehicle detection. It's so easy to see what's going on because of that email with the attached video. So I think it's a very good security camera. Night vision is not brilliant, and I would say the same goes for most of the CCTV cameras that I've got. I think the problem that I've got is living in the countryside. There is no ambient light. Now, if you live in a built-up area and you've got street lighting, I am pretty sure that the night vision would be much better. Saying that, it is okay, the night vision. Other than that, that's about the only thing I can think that is not brilliant on the camera. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The tracking is just a pure joy. The telephoto digital footage can be a bit sketchy at times, but that's because it's moving around quite quickly and the software is trying to focus and get close-ups of whatever it is that the camera's looking at. But the dual lens system works really very well. As I said earlier on, I've connected this to my MVR, and so I've got constant wide-angled footage, which is a major advantage. So if you're getting one of these cameras, that is something to think about, to get a Reolink MVR and attach the camera to it, because you've got 24-hour coverage. But saying that, the video doesn't take up an awful lot of room on the memory card on the camera, and it is very good at seeing what's going on, recording it and letting you know, which is exactly what you want in a security camera. So as you can tell, I really like this camera. I hope you found this review useful. Thank you very much for watching, and please take care.